The man who broke Spyro in half. Sounds like he just murdered Spyro. Oh, and it's from Rixer. I mean, that's a pretty cool title. Sounds more like a threat or something, like I'm looking for a felon.
Every time a new record is set, a barrier has been broken. A lot of the time, we cherish the players that broke through and pushed for the amazing feats. But in the background, there are tons of brainiacs in each respective community, working together in finding new tricks, optimizations, and sometimes coming up with a full reroute for an entire game. Somebody with an eye for breakthroughs.
Elon Musk.
This is the story and legacy of Tuval.
Nice, fuck yeah. Second best.
He mainly started out with any percent and highlighted all of his PBs on his Twitch page. But later down the line, he would pick up the 120% category where he would set his first world record. It was at this moment that he started uploading his runs to YouTube, since he probably figured it was a better place to archive his stuff. He would lower his own 120% record multiple times from a 141 down to a 135. His movement and knowledge of the game was very apparent in these runs, and it was very clear that Tuval had a good grasp of how the game
Spyro
worked.
runs are pretty
Already
fucking tough.
Early on in his career, he started experimenting.
I
with
myself
smaller tricks
also
that
have
would
a
help
run
save
in
time
Spyro
80%
E the
and
D.
120% for Spyro. He would upload various
it was
videos
like
to his
4
YouTube channel
minutes.
of neat optimizations, such as a damage boost from a bird in
Resub
Dry
Infinite.
Canyon, or a proxy off of the TNT barrel enemy in North Cove to skip the entire level. All of these smaller discoveries would just be the warm-up for Tuval, as his experience and knowledge was shining through, ultimately culminating in his first major discovery.
He better find a way to fucking glitch through everything, warp to the end. I think this gets down to like sub 10 minutes, doesn't it? I could be
For
thinking
those
of the wrong
unfamiliar
Spyro
with
though.
Spyro the
I think there's
Dragon,
2 of them
I'll
that are
explain how
sub 10
beating
minutes.
the game works first, as
One's
it's
Enter the
important
Dragon
context
and
for
one's
Tuval's
something
discoveries.
else.
This knowledge is somewhat transferable between all of the PS1 Spyro games, so keep all of what I'm about to say in mind. In Spyro the Dragon, there are 6 worlds you have to traverse through. In order to get to the next world, you have to meet a specific requirement from the balloonist of each respective world. Sometimes it's needing to have freed a certain amount of dragons, other times it's gems or dragon eggs. The standard procedure of progressing through the game for homeworlds 1 through 5 is collecting stuff. Homeworld 6, or Nasty's World, works a bit different from the other homeworlds in that you can't just run around freely and enter whichever level you want. You are forced to reach the end portal of North Cove in order to unlock the next level. The way the level unlocks is linked to the big dragon heads in the homeworld. The mouth of the orange dragon will open once North Cove is complete. This leads into Twilight Harbor, and once that is complete, the mouth to the final boss, Nasty Nork, opens up as well.
Yeah, I don't think it's this one that gets the sub 10
last green
minutes.
dragon head is Nasty's Loot, a bonus level needed for the full 120% completion. On August 6th, 2013, Tuval uploaded a video titled Nasty Nork Early. This showcased a video of Tuval reaching the Nasty Nork portal entrance by going through the top of the mouth.
Wait, can you use save states in this run?
With a charge jump into a regular jump, you
oh
have
wait,
just
this
enough
isn't the
height
run,
to
he's just
push
showing
through.
it off.
This was only possible on the European
I was about to just
version,
disqualify
because
this
Spyro
man's
jumps
run.
a couple of units higher. This, however, was later performed on the American NTSC U version as well. This skipped the need to play through Twilight Harbor to open the dragon head to Nasty Nork, which saved around 50 seconds in 80%. To quote Tuval, "To make sure I wouldn't be wasting my time trying to do something impossible, I used a cheat program that let me moonjump.
Fuck,
I used this to check
he's a
to see
felon.
if anything in the hub lacked collision, giving potential to a possible skip. As luck would have it, the dragon head encasing the Nasty Nork portal lacked collision on top, unlike the other 2 dragon heads which were completely solid. After making this discovery, I was more determined than ever to find a way in.
Thanks to Resub, holy moly.
This is unfortunately not viable for RTA. The proxy is simply too precise.
No.
But still an amazing find by Tuval, proving his
Sounds like they don't have
creativity
real
where the game really
gamers
didn't give
yet.
him any options.
Where's Shockster when we
Tuval
need
said
him?
that these 2 discoveries was the inspiration to look for more now that he knew he was capable of finding
He's a
them.
tier 1 Leo.
And oh, how
Make
right
yourself
he
electric.
was, because he would go on a complete rampage from here on out. Let's jump forward to the 3rd Spyro game, Year of the Dragon, where Tuval's next big discovery would take place.
Alright, I'll look at this real quick and then go back. This has caught my attention.
To move from world to world, you need to collect the final dragon egg from each level, where a resident of that world will help you with the air balloon to reach the world's boss. You do this 3 times until you get to the 4th and final world, where the final boss, the sorceress, all of a sudden has a 100 egg requirement on the door, the final boss fight.
Watch
It was
lady
already known for
breastfeeds
a while
cat
that
on
you
a
could
plane.
get on top of these
I already know
sorcerer's
about that
castle
story.
walls by doing something called a helmet proxy. By walking under the gladiator helmet that houses the Desert
Hey,
Ruins
summoning
portal,
salt, fuck
Spyro
yeah.
can be launched backwards up the
Love
wall
your
with a
content.
ton of speed.
Literally seen
This is
every single
because
video.
the game assumes Spyro to be stuck
Keep
under
up the great
helmet,
work.
thus trying to fling him out of there. A clever softlock prevention mechanism that speedrunners took advantage of. Once you have enough height, you can reach the castle walls. This was first showcased in a 2013 highlight from runner T-Smart.
2013 was a wild year.
Whoa! What the fuck?
Let's go.
What was that?
Thanks a Prime Sour
I thought I
Oreo.
was doing like a extended super slide.
Tuval felt that T-Smart didn't really explore around the area very much, so he went to work. He got a helmet proxy onto the castle walls, and, well,
That's good to hear,
I'll
Colt.
just let this speak for itself.
I'm happy to hear that. That audio quality. It was 2013. Everyone was using dog shit. I wouldn't be surprised if he was recording this with a Dazzle Platinum.
On November 18th, 2013, the long sought after Sorcerer Skip was found by Tuval. A no-joke 28-minute time saver in any percent.
Oh.
The loading zone, for whatever reason, extends extremely far up above the portal, so if you can simply be right above the coordinates where the trigger is, you go into the boss. The current world record by Jeremy Thompson only collects 20 Dragon Eggs to complete the game with Sorcerer Skip.
Yeah, we finished The
at
Hobbit.
23:58.
Oh, hold on.
The skip
Real quick, if you're still here, Summoning Salt, you should definitely check this out. I feel like this would be something you'd like. This video was a fucking masterpiece, man. 2 hours and 41 minutes of bliss. Yeah, so if you ever just have 2 hours you want to kill and you don't feel like seeing the new Matrix movie, check this bad boy out.
skip was so influential and so game-changing that a 100 egg category was created on speedrun.com that doesn't allow the use of this glitch.
Hey, the reset
Often
PH.
becomes the case for many
Thank you,
games.
Sub
Once
Colt.
the any percent category becomes so short, you hardly play the game at all. Tuval was really on fire around this time. He found a level skip for the first Spyro game, and a massive sequence break for the third game. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, was sweating intensely. After the stunning work he had done on the other two titles,
I
it was
tried
inevitable
speedrunning
that
Ripto's
Spyro
Rage.
2 had something coming as well.
It's just too much for my
Tuval set
fucking
his
old
sights on what
reflexes.
many believed was an
Everything in
impossible
Spyro is
task.
pretty precise,
Gulp skip.
and I'm not good at it. I was talking about the Hobbit video we were watching, the history of the Hobbit speedrun.
In Spyro 2, the collectibles you need to beat the game are much simpler. 3 homeworlds with 3 big bosses. You need 6 talismans to get into Crush,
Thanks, Risa
14
Dog.
talismans to enter Gulp, and for the final boss Ripto, you need 40 of the 64 available orbs. A swim and air glitch in the 3rd homeworld was found quite early. This bypasses the 40 orbs for Ripto. A skip
God,
into Crush
Spyro
was
glitches
also
are good.
found, which bypassed the need of the first homeworld's 6 talismans. But the issue was Gulp. There was not even a close to conceivable method of skipping into Gulp. The boss loading trigger is a huge pit sealed away by a wooden door. Skipping into Crush is also pointless since you need all 14 talismans for Gulp, and 6 of them are located in the first homeworld. The second homeworld, Autumn Plains, is where Gulp's overlook is located, and getting in was gonna be tough.
Not for Tuval, though, I'll tell you what. That man's gonna come here and just drop his dick on it. No doubt. The music is awfully
This
somber.
castle,
Is
I tell
Tuval
you,
dead?
is so well made compared to many other parts of the game. It's so huge, yet there are practically no holes, swim and air glitches, proxies, or anything really. I actually remember around 2011-2012 trying to look for Gulp Skip myself. I wasn't even speedrunning properly at the time, but I remember being completely stumped right away in my progress. In literal years, nobody had managed to find anything resembling an out of bounds in Autumn Plains, so it seemed almost hopeless. I kid you not, 8 days after finding Sorcerer Skip, Tuval had done it.
Nice. Let's go, Tuval. Thanks,
He
Risa.
found a way
You don't
into
like
Gulp
Mike?
early. He demonstrated his method with a 20-minute long highlight on his Twitch. I will shorten the footage down a lot, but I really want you to see this skip. It's just cosmic brain levels of creative.
So, I was trying to show you from the beginning actually. Basically involves this broken wall
I
here,
love the audio quality.
and you have to go to it from the other side.
Sounds just like a radio
So stay
malfunctioning.
here in case I fall. Now this is really hard. I'm not sure if I can show this again quickly. Wait, I'll just show you the position you end. You end up in this position, and then from here you can sort of. You have to move even more, sort of. Not inbounds, but even more to the right.
So it's a tight wiggle.
You end up in this position, like that, if you do it right. And I'm not even sure how I got in this position, but I ended up here.
How do you feel about the lack of Beautiful Joe speedrunners? I can't imagine that's a good speedrun game.
Like that. I'm past the wall now, I'm past the broken wall, but I'm out of bounds, sort of, halfway. Wait, I'll show you the end of the skip. Like, I'll save state here. I'll show you the end. Like, so eventually you get, like, here, and you can just spam X, and hopefully get out of bounds. Just going to go.
Not bad!
One funny thing about all three skips that Tuval found, they're all relatively big notable run killers for the speedruns. Gulp Skip being no exception. People have gotten a lot better at it over the years, so it's not too difficult to perform, but doing it fast is the issue. The run now for Spyro 2 was essentially a boss rush. Once again, a category split was made once Gulp Skip was found, now with any percent and 14 talisman. If we jump
like I said, I tried to run this game. It's really hard. It's really fucking hard.
Spyro 2's any percent category, and would eventually be the first person to nail a sub 11, and then eventually the world's first sub 10 with a run of
did I ever? I actually don't think I ever finished it. Let me see. Yeah, I only did E to D. This was a fun one though, because there's only one glitch you do, and you'll see it right here probably in this preview. Never mind, it cuts off. All you do is once the game starts, you run over to. I'll just show you. I love rain. This is about the limit of my talent. You just run over here, and you just clip to the final boss. This is about where I can live in Spyro speedrunning. That's about where my skill dissipates. I can press 2 buttons in the right spot. Ripto's Rage was too much for me. I thought maybe I'd finished it at some point, but I guess not.
This run has the remarkable waterfall proxy to get into Ripto at the very end of the run. This skip is substantially more difficult than Gulp Skip to perform, but saves a huge chunk of time. Tuval essentially created the end of the road for Spyro 2 with the discovery of Gulp Skip. Today, the world record sits at 7:54 by Spora. 7 minutes is actually mind-blowing for a PS1 game. Tuval would do a full rotation back to his roots with the first Spyro game, to explore a skip that was considered theoretically possible and would save around 3 to 4 minutes in the 120% category. You need every gem, dragon, and dragon egg in the game in order to achieve the maximum 20%, and normally the final boss is just the
probably more than one Moxie in the world, I would guess.
But the boss drops 4 purple gems that count as 25 each. So normally, you kill the boss, and as he drops to the ground, the gems fly towards Spyro as he taunts Nasty Nork. The game fades out, and the final cutscene plays out. It is possible to die in the lava or in the out-of-bounds area next to Nasty Nork, but you need to be alive long enough for all the gems to be obtained. If you die too early, you won't get all the gems. To say that he was on fire is now a severe understatement at this point.
40 views.
Oh, that's kind of cute.
Is that it? Was that it?
Tuval once again did another proxy jump by gliding into Nasty Nork's body at the right time, and at the precise moment he got flung back, flamed to hit Nasty as he flies away.
Oh.
The new and consistent way involves getting a proxy still off of Nasty Nork, to go out of bounds, gliding a full 180, and then barely scraping below the lava to hit Nasty Nork, and then flying into the part where you came from into the lava. Once you hit Nasty Nork, you lose control of Spyro, so your angle has to be just right to hit the lava at the correct moment. Just like that, Tuval skipped the need for watching the credits at the end of the game, usually taking several minutes. 4 massive skips.
The credits are a several minute time loss?
Earth-shattering changes to how the Spyro games were ran. He left his mark in history, but what he would go on to find after his Spyro discoveries is something I don't think anybody could have seen coming. Tuval would shift his focus away from Spyro to pursue probably the most sought out after skip in any game around 2014. I'm talking about Gelato Beach Skip in Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh, so he wasn't just a Spyro guy. Oh, he went all the way to Super Mario Sunshine. Where does he stop?
It's a bit different from the other levels in that the 8th
Did you find that Wind Waker skip with the 1,000-year or the
tube? If you could just get into this glass tube somehow and collect the shine, you would unlock episodes 1 through 7 of Gelato Beach. This means you can select the 7th episode, beat Shadow Mario, and that's all you would have to do for this level. This would cut out episodes 1 through 6, which are all more or less boring auto-scrollers. So it was crazy when we all woke up one morning and saw this.
That's right, the long sought-after Gelato Beach skip, or GBS, was found on February 21st,
I can't believe that's 7 years ago.
Who doesn't even run SMS. This just goes to show that sometimes, having a fresh pair of eyes is exactly what you need to solve a problem, and if he or she is already a talented glitch hunter, that also helps.
SMS was and still is one of my favorite games to watch. In any percent, Gelato Beach was a generally disliked stage due to the annoying mirror shine and the Sandbird autoscroller, so most people wouldn't miss it if it was bypassed. I had known about Gelato Beach skip theoretically being possible to skip for a while, but I thought that given how popular a speed game it is, many people would have tried and failed to find a way to skip it, and I'd bring nothing new to the table. However, after finding major skips in the Spyro games, I had more confidence in my abilities to glitch hunt, and I finally gave it a look. Most of that time was spent on unsuccessful attempts trying to clip through the
GBS also stands for Guillain-Barré
syndrome. Once I had the idea to use the coconut, it didn't take me long at all before I managed to actually clip
when you get like a flu shot, it's a potential side effect.
Grabbing the edge of the roof and centering the camera
That's a little fun trivia fact, I guess.
So Mario wouldn't get pushed to the side as he ran into the coconut. To this day, this moment is still the highlight of my speedrunning career.
It also stands for great ball sucking. That is also true. Good point. Good point.
And rightfully so, the skip was met with universal praise from runners of SMS, but also from viewers and top runners of other speedrun communities. The skip would total in a 10-minute time save for any percent, and would skip the most boring world in the run. Okay, quick little fun story I thought I'd go into regarding another skip Tuval found. Around the same time Gelato Beach skip was found, Tuval also found a 50-second time saver in Spyro Answer the Dragonfly, which is a notoriously disliked and buggy game. The any percent category was already only 2 minutes long and consisted of going to a different
I did this one.
Air, and then you fly into the final boss.
No, it was even easier.
Tuval
Oh, he found it?
Head bash through the floor.
I used that.
Zone.
I did that.
I'm actually serious. Look how long it takes from gaining control of Spyro to entering the final
Let's
boss.
go. I bet he gets it first try. It took me 2. Man, I'm such a bitch. I should just rerun that game.
It's a joke. Tuval finished this run you're currently watching with a new world record time of 1 minute and 9 seconds. This game sucks. Don't play it.
Hey, what the fuck?
Years would go by.
You're talking to a top 50 Into the Dragonfly speedrunner right here.
Optimizations he found in various games, such as Super Mario Odyssey and the new Link's Awakening remake on his 2 Twitter accounts @Tuval_ and @2vault. Another runner used Tuval's discovery to find out that this could be used to enter the 4th dungeon early. Tuval also found what is known as a like-like launch, which is where a chicken is used to redirect the direction Link is thrown after being spat out by a like-like. The height from this is enough to get on top of the trees and is used early in the run to enter the 2nd dungeon without needing to rescue Bow Wow, saving around a minute. Tuval claims that there is also one really big sequence break out there that would break Link's Awakening like no other. The current GBS of Link's Awakening is Early Rooster. The Rooster has been the source of so many late game skips and glitches that accessing it as early as before D3 would break the game open even more. All the pieces of the puzzle for Early Rooster has been solved except one, actually getting into the Rooster Cave without needing the level 2 bracelet to move the statue blocking the stairs. Please go ahead and drop Tuval a follow on his Twitter pages. With what we've seen today, he could just drop Early Rooster on us tomorrow. Or perhaps another major sequence break. Time will tell what's next up his sleeve. So, I'll end the video on this. Perhaps the most crazy story of all. Let's go back a bit in the video, where I talked about a particular rat proxy in Spyro 1 that allows you to skip both North Cove and Twilight Harbor. Well, 2 months after finding Gelato Beach skip in SMS, Tuval found an alternate way to enter Nasty Nork early without completing Nork Cove or Twilight Harbor first. This would widely be known in the community as Coveless, and is insanely hard. So hard, in fact, that the current world record doesn't do it.
Oh.
As mentioned before, Tuval is also a very good speedrunner, and was a top-level player in Spyro 1 for a while. In 2016, Tuval wanted to come back to Spyro 1 to compete for the record. He started up another attempt just as usual. It was a pretty average run with some minor time losses in the first 2 worlds. In World 3 he was ahead by a tiny amount, but the run crumbled by the 4th and 5th world, being behind by half a minute.
They do
he
rat
was
proxy
simply
now.
too far
Do they?
behind, so pretty much everyone thought the run was dead, except for one drunk individual in the chat. Entering Nasty's world, Tuval glances the chat.
Thanks for your
Do
unoriginal.
Coveless and BP. PB. Sorry, drunk. Well, to be honest with you, I don't know if Tuval had plans to go for it anyway, or if he really listened. But I assure you, I wasn't ready.
This would be the easiest Coveless of his goddamn life.
What? Hello?
Free.
Okay.
Thanks to Prime Almighty.
Not like this.
Get excited! God damn it, Tuval, get wild. Fucking flip your table over or something. Let's get crazy. Sometimes speedrunners just don't have enough hype.
Well then.
Now break something to celebrate.
Tuval pulled it all the way back, saving an insane amount of time with a first try Coveless, resulting in
get
a
so
new
true.
world record by 4 seconds. This is the only time
Anything
in existence
short, Colt.
that
Maybe
Coveless
Outlast.
is in somebody's PB, and even after 4 years when this was first set, this run is still a top 3 time. A testament to Tuval's skill and understanding of the game.
Goddamn.
Maybe most importantly, clutch factor. I honestly thought Coveless was going to become the standard to do in runs after this, but it seems that this run really was ahead of its time. If someone could nail a perfect run with Coveless, 37 is out there surely. But as it stands right now, Tuval is the only person who has nailed it. Call it accident? I say it's fate. Well, that was the story of Tuval. He doesn't stream on Twitch or post to his Twitter that much anymore, but I'd still give him a follow for his contributions to all the games he's laid his hands on.
Good work, Tuval.
You might just witness a new discovery if you're lucky. You might also witness him doing attempts of something again. His streams were super cozy and very laid back. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe as there is more speedrun history and lore coming to this channel very soon. Thank you so much to my continued and new supporters
Nice.
over at
That was good.
Patreon. I
Yeah, I've
really
seen the skin
appreciate your
theory.
kind.
People always ask how you find glitches. I mean, I don't know if you guys knew this, but back in 2008, 2009, I had my own glitching clan. We were chaotic glitchers, and I found a lot of glitches used in those games. Gears of War, Halo, and Call of Duty 4. I got my thoughts out of order, so I thought I'd name the games first, and then said I found a lot of glitches in those games, but I said that part first, so then the games. Things just didn't flow properly there, but I found a lot of glitches back then. The way you find glitches is you just activate 100% of your brain. You have to fire every neuron. Like a lot of people just, I don't know, I don't think they have what it takes, just not smart enough. But then some people are just born with a gift. Played on a Game Boy Advance, and this game slaps. I used to play this game a lot. I used to play this in a game called, I think it was just called Dodgeball. Super Dodgeball Advance. Yeah, I played the fuck out of this. There were some cheaters in this game though. Like there was some AI in here that was just programmed to not lose under any circumstance. So I'd just be banging my head against a wall for hours in this one. But Battle Network was great.
Today, we're going to be looking at an esport unlike any other. It's a game
I
set in
actually
the
want
Mega
that one
Man
already,
universe
Galactic.
that was originally made to be a fun, collect-em-all single-player experience. Has a competitive scene that spans the globe and is still growing.
What?
The game we're talking about is Mega Man Battle Network.
That's not that small. What was that, 15K on Reddit? That's really not bad. That's probably more than like Overwatch active users at this point. So this is pretty solid.
The game we're talking about is Mega Man Battle Network. Mega Man Battle Network was developed by Capcom and was originally intended to be a horror game. One where the player
What?
would have a heartbeat monitor hooked up to their body and plugged into their Game Boy, which would affect
What?
what happened in the game itself. However, during the development
That's
process,
intense.
card games started to become really popular, and
As recent
Capcom
Primal.
wanted to break into that market. With one of their strongest IPs being Rockman, the Japanese name for Mega Man, it was a no-brainer that a collect-em-all type game should be centered around their perennial franchise. Make a game where a kid who's not great at the action can rely on strategy instead.
What if they
and
suck
still
at
win.
strategy too? What if they
So,
just dog shit
battles
all
were more
around?
about being smart and
Can't win 'em all.
tactical rather than just having good reactions and hand-eye coordination. In 2001, Capcom released Rockman EXE, the game's Japanese title. To the rest of the world, 2001 was the year they first got to play Mega Man Battle Network.
So it's a fighting game where you're using cards, but also it's actually boxing. In between the real-time sections, you have turns where you have to go back and start choosing your hand.
Okay, so imagine chess, but it's a video game and a
Oh,
card game.
I
and
do
an
like all of
RPG.
that.
Okay,
That all
let's
sounds very
break all that
nice.
down a little bit. First,
Maybe
the
I'll have
game
to
is
compete.
played on a grid, hence being similar to chess. The core game is built around collecting chips, which can be anything from abilities to stat boosters to new attacks for your character. But battles aren't turn-based, it's real-time. There's frame data, mind games, and a substantial amount of requisite game knowledge. This real-time combat is why it's like a fighting game. But unlike fighting games, rounds aren't continuous. Instead, they're organized into 15 segments, during which chips are chosen at random.
I don't
from a
remember it
folder,
being like
and a
this.
set number can be selected for the upcoming round. After 15 seconds of battling,
shit.
everything stops, the player can select new chips, and the next round begins. Battle Network's history can be segmented into 3 distinct eras. The first is the GameFAQs era. For those of
Oh,
you who
what
have
an
been around
era.
for a while, you probably know what GameFAQs
Yeah.
is. For those who don't, it was
Worst
a forum
guides
used
of
by
all
anyone
time.
and everyone
But
to
great
discuss
forums.
pretty much every game imaginable. Strategies, theory crafting, lore. GameFAQs was the place to talk about your favorite games with like-minded people. So it's unsurprising that the Battle Network community found something of a home on GameFAQs. Because real-world results didn't exactly match up with the GameFAQs theory crafters, people started saying that the game was unbalanced and competitively unviable.
It probably was.
Due
It
to
was
this
made for
mindset,
kids
many
on a
players
Game
simply
Boy.
stayed away from PvP altogether, and the game's competitive scene never really took off. Well,
Laser Reset
that
Banana.
and the fact that getting the game running online was an absolute nightmare. On top of the difficulties of finding people and getting a VPN up and running, the actual emulator that everyone was using, VBA Link 1.8, was not exactly the most legitimate. It was a program that someone made for a college project back in 2004 and hadn't really been updated since.
What kind of
Thankfully,
college?
The program was made to be open
would
source
ask
and
something
readily
like
available
that?
to the community.
The
But
professor just loved
unfortunately,
Mega Man.
The emulator is so old that most of the source files have been lost to time, meaning that getting in and tinkering with the emulator is pretty much impossible. So, what do you do when you hit a roadblock like this?
Coding
Build your own
class?
road, of course. Much like the Super
Alright, I'll
Smash
pose
Bros.
this to the chat, I suppose. I fucking took a coding class. Back when I was a digital art major, I also had to take coding. You know what they made me do for coding? They made me make like a picture of Link out of code. Like, the coding wasn't create something like this where you're making online functionality for a fucking Game Boy on the computer. They just told me, hey, can you make this picture? And that was as far as my coding went. Do you guys, like, I'm assuming we have, like, some people still in university doing coding classes. Do you guys, like, have tough assignments where it's like, hey, can you do something cool, like, let me play Mega Man Battle Network with my friends across the globe? Oh yeah, I guess it could just be, like, a higher level class. Mine was more introductory. So it seems like I just had a shit course from what it sounds like. Awesome. But if I ever have to code Link,
this Melee community
I wouldn't
and
be able
Slippy,
to. It's been
diehard fans
fucking
of Battle
7
Network
years.
have taken it
I
upon
don't remember
themselves
how.
to create their own build of the game, complete with rollback netcode and online matchmaking. But more on that later. Right now, we're still in the late 2000s, stuck using the only emulator that was compatible with the GBA Wi-Fi adapter. All of these reasons contribute to this being known as the Dark Ages, when there was no centralized place for BN players to congregate, no easy way to find other BN competitors, and no real community to speak of. To find someone to play against, you had to look really deep and basically pray that someone, somewhere, would have a server up and running.
It was actually crazy. Like, you would just find stray YouTube comments being like, hey, if someone still plays this game, like, here's my server and here's my password. When I found out you could play the game online, I was like so excited. And when
That
I
looks
found the
busted.
first human being to
Whatever
play,
that was.
The game ran at 2%.
The
They
man
were
just
using, like,
hit
the
him with
save
a
file
fucking
that they
nuke.
got off of the internet, and it was hacked to have 9999 HP. It was running at 2% the entire time, and I played that thing out, and I was just like, this is the best thing ever.
So,
Rectum.
years
God
went by,
damn.
and there was very little in the way of a North American competitive scene. But then, in 2015, a player named MegaMaster1tikal announced on Reddit that he
That's a
was
great
hosting
name.
an online tournament with prizes. Seasoned competitors, fans of Battle Network, and fans of Mega Man in general leapt at the opportunity to get their hands on some otherwise unattainable Mega Man swag. Pretty quickly, the event had more than 60 people signed up, which is pretty good for a title that otherwise had no community surrounding it. Unfortunately, when tournament day rolled around, some of the problems that made BN so difficult to play became readily apparent. Setting up the emulator, especially for new players, was a nightmare. Games would often lag, desync, or be utterly unplayable, and a number of matches during the tournament had to be decided pretty much through a coin toss.
Oh.
On top of this, many players dropped out after seeing how competitive the community could be. Many who signed up initially were just casual fans who thought that the event would be just for fun. But there
No,
were many
there
who
is
had been in the
nothing
community
just for
years
fun when it
and
comes
were
to
ready try
gaming.
their hardest. At the end of
Fucking
the day,
trust
of
me.
the 60 who signed up, only 37 players ended up competing, which is, honestly, pretty good. And this tournament, as rough around the edges as it was, gave way to something much bigger than anyone could have ever expected. N1GP.
The N1GP originally was a Skype group that we used to kind of corral everybody. It was a really weird time in the community. We were just very much getting our sea legs from both a broadcast or a standpoint, a rules standpoint.
MegaMaster1tikal was not finished after just one tournament. Carrying forward the momentum from this last event, N1GP was founded and has since become a mecca for Battle Network players.
Nice.
Whether you're looking for people to play against, want to talk strategy, or you're just getting into the game for the first time, N1GP has pretty much everything you could ever need.
We have extensive guides, tons of information, data on individual chips, certain interactions, you name it. Like we basically have an encyclopedia of content, and it's all thanks to the community. And that's really what the N1GP is about.
However, as we've already talked about, the online experience
I'd like to see
leaves
like
a lot
a-
to be desired.
a match
So, one
now.
player took it upon himself to completely rebuild one Battle Network game and turn it not just into a serviceable online experience, but a really, really good one. Mars is a part of the N1GP R&D team and has been working on completely redoing Battle Network 3 to include rollback netcode
Jesus,
and
Colt.
automatic matchmaking.
Thanks
If you
for
watch our
resub, Crab.
video on Slippy for
Or
Super
Crez.
Smash Bros. Melee, or any of our videos on Power Rangers or Guilty Gear, you'll know just how important it is to have rollback netcode. Mars's current goal is to make a build of the game that is stable and readily available to anyone, and then apply the same principles to Battle Network 6, the most popular title in the series. Hopes are that in a couple of months, public matchmaking for BN6 will be a reality, and hosting online tournaments with rollback netcode would make hosting tournaments even more viable. The prospect
It
of
seems
good,
like it-
clean online play
Well, I'll have
is
to look, but it
especially
seems like a lot
important
of
when you take into
RNG.
consideration how international this scene really is.
So, you know, our top players, we have people in California, we have people in Canada on the opposite side, we have people in New York, you know, we have people in Central America, we have people in Brazil, we have some players coming in from the Japanese scene, which is really cool to see. It would be great to do a meetup and, you know, have a battle of the Titans one day, but we're
Depends
not
on the
there
chips.
yet. It's a bit expensive to get to that point.
Being originally a Japanese title, there's quite a large Japanese community that, for years, existed with little to no connection to the North American scene. This is where Aqua, a Japanese player, is instrumental in bridging the two communities together. After their first tournament, N1GP hosted an event with a Japanese rule set, and Aqua came and beat all of North America's best players.
Yeah, Aqua, he somehow caught us on Twitch during one of our early tournaments, and he was so excited that there was an international scene, and he joined the next tournament and he got first place. Yeah, so the tournament we won,
probably been training for a long time.
We're really excited that the Japanese community found us, and we organized our first mod card tournament. That's the Japanese exclusive format. You know, it was kind of his home turf, but it was a great learning experience for us as well.
Since then, the two communities have become much more tight-knit, and BN events have taken on a variety of new rule sets. The biggest change has been the shift away from closed sets and the adoption of open sets. Closed set formats are tournaments where, going into a match, you don't know what chips your opponent is holding. This makes it viable to sometimes run folders that aren't considered meta, as you can take your opponent by surprise. However, closed sets also lead to some
hosting a Battle Network tournament. This is way too much for my little brain.
Players would be allowed to bring 2 folders, and
but it looks cool.
If they wanted to, hard counter one specific person.
I remember when I played it, I just fucking hammer A.
Unfortunately for this player,
whatever
there would
chips
be
I
no
had.
way to prepare against it, as they would have no idea what chips their opponent is playing with. Closed sets also led to players scouting out other players before their matches to gain a competitive edge come game time. All of these underhanded dealings led to a rise in the popularity of open sets, a format in which players on both sides know, prior to each round, exactly what their opponent is holding.
All of our setups are visible to each other. It's not double-blind matches. So we go into it knowing the other player's strategy, or at least we know what their strategy might look like.
I was in Jenkins when I went to
go in
UT.
fighting Nerith, and you're like, oh, this clown doesn't even have an anti-damage. This is gonna be easy. And then you're dead.
This means that winning is less about preparation and scouting, and more about folder building and actually being good at the game. With more people coming into the community, competition has also been on the rise. New players have been coming out of the woodwork, like Zero Guy, who showed up out of nowhere and started winning everything. All of this growth and intermingling between communities culminated in early 2021, as Capcom and the community were gearing up to celebrate Battle Network's 20th anniversary.
Capcom was celebrating it?
That's for the entire
cute.
series, and that's something
Capcom doesn't celebrate shit.
The event was a celebration of everything Battle Network, and the main event was a tournament featuring some of the best players in the world. The eventual
their
victor
bracket's
of the
kinda
event
cool.
was a player named Symes, who was using a folder that was completely off meta and somehow found success with it.
I want to see one of these
for a title
matches.
released more than a decade ago.
What's the most recent one? Fall of Mega Man Battle Network.
Due to a global community of unbelievably
Did it fail
dedicated
after this
players,
video came
they've
out or
gone through
something?
Good times, survived hardships, and flourished in the unlikeliest of circumstances. 20 years on, and this Game Boy Advance game has found a new life in N1GP and all of the communities around the world who are still playing after all this time. Before we end this video, I'd like to give a huge thanks to Mega Master X.
That's pretty interesting. I want to see one of these matches. New Blood Moon Cycle. Or New Moon Cycle Blood Moon. Okay, let's see who wins. Let's go to Grand Finals. Sharona versus Alri. I don't think I'll be able to. I don't think I'll be able to process what's going on, but I'm gonna try. So the field is poisoned. I get that.
Was just searching for that charge shot connect. Maybe not able to find it, so just uses the wind rack to deal with the barrier 200.
Oh,
Last
man
destroys that sensor.
Yeah, fuck, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Such a great utility
Shit.
and it was in the perfect position to do not only damage to the player itself, but also their summon. That was really cool.
Thanks for reset, baby. Yeah, that's a big brain kind of game. I'd have to like actually learn about it in order for that to make any sense to me. I swear the deepest games are made by accident. Yeah, that's usually how it goes. Pete the Exterminator. You got his name wrong, man. His name is Billy the Exterminator. But your heart's in the right place. I wouldn't be surprised if Billy murders Santa Claus this season. Thanks to the Prime Potato Main and gift sub 1000. Watch Pokemon Wedding. It sounds adorable. Let's see. From this, well, I guess this isn't as adorable as I thought. This is cringe. Even Sniper Wolf of all people, impossible not to cringe. Well, that's very unlike her.
Oh, look at each other. That means that we got a battle now. I got 5 minutes. All right then. Courtney, I choose you. Alex, flame on.
Aww.
It's super effective. Okay, Courtney, let's go. Sydney, Iceland.
Man, there's a whole lot going on. There's even a guy in a horse mask in the back. That's not even a Pokemon, that's just a fetish.
Looks like these Pokemon are evenly matched. Leave me alone. Perfect.
There's a tier 1 birdie, and the resub bod, and the prime peanut, and the 5 gift subs Wang. Oh, is it gonna be a tough match? This isn't really a wedding. This is just more of like a cosplay convention kind of thing. This is so wholesome. I wish all weddings were like this. At least it wouldn't be boring. Imagine how their parents feel. As long as their kids are happy, I bet they're happy. That horse looks bored. Yeah. The horse guy in the back doesn't really want to be here. He's just left over from the BDSM convention last night. Yeah! Oh, a little off cue, that's okay. It's a remix. Yeah! Oh, Ginyu Force? Let's go!
Unite all people within our nation.
Oh.
To extend our reach to the stars above. Team Rocket, take off at the speed of light. Surrender now, or prepare to fight.
There's a resub ASMR.
I now present Team.
Oh, they don't even kiss? Oh, there we go. They just seal it with a high five in a Pokemon battle. That was wholesome. Thanks, resub Tether. Thanks, resub Vog. That was my favorite arc of Pokemon. Thanks for the bits, Jake. Give sub Tyler. Top 10 weddings? I'd say so. And I think the height mismatch was a good thing, to be honest. You can suck the titties standing up, which is pretty cool. I don't want to be on light mode, but I have to be on incognito mode on this computer. I literally can't, like, install anything on it. I only really get the internet to work on incognito mode. It's pretty old. Live news photobombed by Drifting Volvo 740. What a title. I'm assuming this one, right? This probably doesn't happen often.
Snön och halkan har orsakat en hel del trafikolyckor i Örebroområdet under dagen. Bland annat här på Mosåsvägen där 2 bilar frontalkrockade vid 11-tiden i förmiddags. Men inte heller där kom någon person till skada. Men trots ett mycket besvärligt väglag så var det inte alla som tog halkan på allvar.
Damn, that's pretty nice.
Oj, 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 vilken galning. Ni får ta det försiktigt om ni ger er ut.
That was pretty cool. Man just came in fucking Tokyo drifting there, initial D style. Good for him.